So we'll start with an introduction to Aon's job evaluation tool, which is typically called JobLink. So as I was saying earlier as well, different consultants, you have different proprietary methodologies to evaluate jobs. But primarily the most popular among them is the point factor methodology. So the methodology broadly remains the same. But what you would see from one consultant to the other, be it Hay or Mercer or Aon, would be that the factors or the compensable factors of the job does change, and the relative degrees or the weightages that you give to the relevant jobs also changes. So that's what you will typically see if you have been exposed to some of the other job evaluation methodology as well. Now, JobLink is a point factor methodology, and it has 5 aspects of a job, which they are called as compensable factors, and they are factored into job weights. Now, for basically, there are certain categories of job which require a lot of manual labor or physical activity. Then there are 2 additional factors as well. Now, the way these factors have been selected is in such a way that it kind of universally applies to all kind of jobs, across functions, across levels. And obviously based on these factors, there are different scales and degrees for these factors, as you would see. And based on that, you evaluate the jobs and kind of then look at the overall job evaluation score for a particular job. Yeah, the job also has the tool is also available online, which basically helps people to kind of do job evaluation in a much more easier format. Now, if I kind of look at the 5 broad compensable factors that are there in JobLink methodology, they start with first knowledge and application. It's essentially the knowledge, skills, and application levels that you require to complete a job. So essentially, there are 2 degrees. One is a knowledge and skill degree, and the other one is an application degree. We would see that. I'm sure to some extent you're familiar with this. So we'll see that and how do we apply that in the context of a real job. In the overall scheme of things, 30% weightage is given to knowledge and skills. I would say it's an input factor for the job. Then the other factor would be problem solving and innovation. So basically, I would say the level of complexity that the day-to-day job entails, or the level of ambiguity, unstructuredness, etc., kind of defines this factor. Then you obviously have the kind of job interaction, the nature of interaction that the job has, kind of cultures, single to diverse, etc. Then finally, the impact of the job, which is basically I would say, an output kind of a factor. And finally, the level of contribution of the role to the final impact or the scope of accountability. So, and then we have also kind of given relative weights to these factors. And these factors are also to a great extent independent of each other, so that different aspects of the job is kind of measured using each factors. And finally, the overall job evaluation score results.